Good evening, Fernwood. It is your sedentary pal Neil here, and it's time for us to sit and watch another episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Today we are watching episode 175 from December 3rd, 1976. I believe it's time to recap before we start this Friday episode. Yesterday morning, Martha made an early visit to Tippy Toe's trailer because she was having trouble sleeping at night after Mary told her about the AC/DC problems in her yard. Of course, Martha thinks that this is some kind of electrical problem and is pretty confused about it, but Annie picks up that this is a reference to bisexual behavior and mentions that she was just trying to help Mary open her mind to certain ideas. Martha hears a call on the CB from Big Honey, the sexy-voiced woman who tries to hit on all the truckers, and Annie gets back at her to get an idea of who she might be. Next door at the Haggers, Loretta gets a call from Charlie, who has decided not to come home after the transplant operation debacle in New Jersey. Jody gets on the line to encourage Charlie to come home as well, but then Charlie hangs up and goes off with his new mafia friend, Sue. Jody gets the idea that he and Loretta should take it on the road to get Charlie back, but then immediately asks Loretta to kiss him like she loved him. But then she turns away when she remembers Charlie and wants to get on the road. Jody suggests that he might want to sleep, and when Loretta says, "Let's do it in the car," Jody gets maybe the wrong idea. Then at the Hartman residence, Mary is throwing out all of the food that the FDA does not approve of when she gets a visit from Wanda. Wanda is about to get a new apartment that she thinks that Merle will move into with her. Mary takes a moment to warn Wanda about Merle's past activities, though Wanda assures Mary that she knows exactly what's going on with him. And finally, we get a very brief scene with Patty calling Mary because her son Garth has returned from military school, as older Garth pops in and suggests that there's already some kind of secret that's been hidden from him. That's all the recap we've got for yesterday's episode, everyone. Let's get this Friday started right.
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman!
I'm sorry, Mom. You're ashamed of me, aren't you?
No, darling, not at all. You'll get over it. Besides, some of our biggest heroes were bedwetters.
Name two.
Oh, well, there's so many. I'd offend a whole bunch if I just named two. Look, you just shouldn't feel bad. You didn't do it on purpose, you know.
I sure didn't. I just can't help it.
I know that.
Sometimes I try to stay awake all night so it won't happen. But then when I wake up, it happened anyway.
Oh, darling, I understand.
Mom, don't do
Oh,
that.
listen, don't fret. I am sure it's just a temporary thing, and you'll get over it.
But meanwhile, you've got to go to all the trouble of doing that extra laundry and changing my sheets every single day.
Honey, I don't mind. It's all right, and it's just more than worth it to have you back home again.
I saw an ad in the paper for wet-proof pajamas. Maybe I should get some.
Oh, no, I don't think so. Your father would be bound to see them, and then he'd know, and then he'd hit the ceiling.
Why can't he be as understanding as you are?
Darling, it's just a matter of pride. Now, Daddy is very proud of his little man, and he sees you as an extension of himself, and as it turns out, he just didn't happen to have, well, you know...
Wet as bed.
Yes. And he just wouldn't understand. Which doesn't mean he doesn't love you.
But if he does love me, why couldn't he understand the way you do?
Fathers are different than mothers. Well, it's just something that you'll understand better when you're grown up, little Garth.
Oh, Mom, I asked you not to call me Little Garth. It makes me sound like a baby. Why can't you call me by my middle name, Philip?
I've been meaning to ask your father if that would be all right, but I'm just kind of...
Good morning, little Garth. How's my chip off the old block today?
Hi, kiddo. Fine.
Way to go, champ. Listen, kiddo, what's that? You changing his sheets again? You don't have to do that every day. You know, this is not the Ramada Inn.
I don't mind doing it, Garth.
Yeah, well, I mind you're doing it. I don't want this son of mine pampered. I don't want him to turn into some kind of mollycoddle. He's not a baby, you know?
I don't mind, Garth.
If you're going to go on spoiling him this way, I'm going to have him shipped right back to military school after Christmas.
Oh, well, I think that would be a mistake to send him back to military school.
Oh, is that a fact? You think it would be a mistake? In other words, I'm wrong. Well, that's fascinating, Patty. Just exactly why do you think it would be a mistake? Maybe you know something I don't know. Go ahead. Why would it be a mistake? Tell me.
Well, because the curriculum at military school is just not suited to his particular needs.
Well, bless my soul. I had no idea that you were an authority on secondary education in America. Excuse my ignorance. But what the hell are you talking about?
Little Garth is a mathematical genius.
Okay, he's good at arithmetic, so?
Well, the mathematic courses are much better in public school than they are at military school, and I think it would be a terrible shame if he didn't have the opportunity to develop his talent and his genius.
Mm-hmm.
And, do you know that he has the ability to solve complicated mathematical problems in his head?
And do you realize those little tricks are obsolete?
Obsolete.
Obsolete, and here's why. This $20 calculator can do anything with figures that kid can do, and it can do it better, and it can do it faster. This is America, kiddo.
I know this is America,
And this
Garth.
does not need clean sheets every day. I bet you didn't get clean sheets at military school every day, did you?
Well,
Is that why you wanted to leave? Because they wouldn't baby you the way your mother does? What's the matter? Was it too rugged?
no, sir.
It doesn't add up. I've got a hunch there's something going on around here, and I don't know about. And I'm usually right with my hunches. Something tells me that this boy was in some sort of trouble at military school, and something tells me you know about it, and you're not telling me. Okay, kiddo, let's have it. What is it? What's the real scoop? Did he get into trouble at school?
Well, yes.
I knew it. Pat, when are you going to learn that you just have to get up pretty early in the morning to put one over on yours truly? Now, what kind of trouble did he get into? What'd you do?
Well, it had to do with this girl.
Really? Oh, no kidding. I didn't know little Garth was fooling around with girls already. I guess when I was his age, I'd already gotten... What happened, son? Did you get a girl in trouble?
No, Garth, that's not what happened. What happened was that he had a date
Had a date?
with this girl,
The girl.
and they got into some kind of argument,
Argument?
and he hit her.
He hit her. He hit her? You hit a girl?
Well, I didn't mean to.
Just, hold it right there, kiddo. A real man does not go around losing his temper with women. I want you to remember that, okay? Check. I want you to be a gentleman at all times. You got to learn that you just can't resort to violence with strange women or it's going to drag you right down to their level. A gentleman maintains his position. He was born with a superior mentality which allows him to have his way with women through reason. Remember that, son. Now, I've got to get to the office, but we'll talk more about this later. And that's the last time I want those sheets changed this week. How many times you changed them already?
Well,
let's figure it out. One sheet,
2 sheets.
2 sheets.
2 pillowcases.
2 PCs,
Spread.
spread,
Bed mattress cover.
MC.
Pajamas.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Doors open.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Detective Johnson of the Fernwood Police. Mind if I pay a little visit?
Oh, I'll get you as soon as I hit 30. 31, 22, 23.
Mind if I have a look around?
You can see everything from one spot. 27, 28, 29, 30. Whew. Well, not too bad for a grandmother, huh? Why are you so interested in my RV?
Pardon? I thought I might be buying one sometime. Those are nice exercises.
Well, saves the cost of an overhaul.
Look, ma'am, I know you're a friend of Martha Shumway, who I respect greatly. But I must inform you that you are violating Police Ordinance number 6432 by sleeping in a permanently parked vehicle in a residential driveway within 3 blocks of a public school.
What? Are you kidding? How old is that law?
1916.
And you want to cite me? See, I don't quite understand.
No, actually, I just came to discuss the violation and some other things.
What other things?
First off, how long are you planning to stay in Fernwood, Mrs. Wiley?
Depends. Why?
On what? On business?
Business? I don't have any business.
Then can I ask you, how do you support yourself, Mrs. Or should I call you Tibitos?
Whichever. And for the record, this sounds like an interrogation.
Oh, a talk. How do you support yourself?
I don't suppose I have to answer that. But I saved from my previous life.
A life you left when you purchased this RV?
Hmm?
Or the life, as it is known?
I'm a widow, Detective Johnson. My husband left me some insurance, and I sold the house.
A rootless life? A life that floats from town to town and man to man for a price? Is that what you're trying to say?
Are you insinuating that I'm... How dare you? Is every woman in this country who sleeps with a man that she doesn't happen to be married to still considered a whore?
It's my job, ma'am.
What, checking out mobile homes for hookers?
There's a prostitution ring operating out of Fernwood, and I'm going to crack it.
Breaker 19, this is Big Honey in need of help. My 20 is the Rugrata ball and the action is buzzing. Need more girls to help with the suckers. Come on down, the weather's fine.
Ma'am, would you show Martha, Mrs. Shumway, your exercises?
What's the matter, Kath? You got a stiff neck or something?
What? Oh, no. I was just looking at the painting. I can never figure out the meaning of modern art.
Modern art has no meaning. That's what makes it so fascinating.
What's it called?
Man, alone, in pain.
Looks like a big black dot to me.
Oh? Oh, no, Tony, it's just crooked. At least I know Heidi did the room. The only way I can make sure that the place is dusted is if all the frames are askew. Unless, of course, I stumble over the remnants of a broken tube and ashtray.
You know, if Heidi was really lazy, she could just tilt all the pictures and you would think she had dusted.
You know, you may have a point there. You're right. Good help is so hard to find.
Speaking of help, I had an offer for some.
Oh, Kath, normally I'd be delighted to find a spot for one of your friends, but under the circumstances, I don't think it would be a good idea to have one of your friends working in the house. I could speak to one of my friends, though.
Oh, no, someone made an offer to me.
Oh, Kath, don't be silly. We wouldn't possibly let you do anything like that in your condition. Besides, you can't possibly need the money.
Oh, no. I don't think you're getting my meaning. You see, I went over to my sister's the other day, Mary, and I was telling her about the natural childbirth thing, and she was so excited. And since there isn't a father to help me, she said she would.
She would what?
Oh, be the coach for the natural childbirth.
But shouldn't that be a man?
Probably so, but since all the takers have taken off, she thought that she'd be good. And she has been through birth herself.
As have we all.
Oh, no. I mean, she's given birth to Heather, my niece.
Yes, but Kath, nothing personal about your lovely sister, dear, but didn't she recently have a nervous breakdown?
Yeah, but she seems her old self now. Cured, you know.
Nothing's ever cured except ham. Look, she might have a relapse at a crucial moment and retreat into the fetal position. It could be fatal. Oh, Kath, I have a confession to make. I met your sister at the library the other day, and I think we could come up with someone a little bit better for a coach than Mary Hartman. Personally, I think there's only one logical coach for our baby's birth, and he is tall, dark, and gorgeous.
You want me to assist with Kathy's baby?
Who better to assist with our baby?
Well, that's a very intimate experience. Kathy might prefer her sister.
Oh, no. I'd much prefer Brian. I mean, I'd feel much better attending those classes with a man.
There you see. And then we'll know firsthand what to tell Daddy. All the gruesome details. So he'll go on believing that I'm the one that's pregnant.
Are you sure, Kathy?
Oh, sure, I'm sure. I mean, I can't think of anyone better. I mean, you have to be the smartest person I know. And I know you've had experience.
Experience? When has Brian had experience?
Well, he told me that when he was at prep school, he helped tutor some of the children. And that's pretty much the same thing.
I really can't see how tutoring 14-year-old boys with their algebra has anything to do with...
Renaissance poetry.
Well, whatever. I really don't see how that qualifies you to participate in the delivery of a child. As I recall it, Bri, you barely passed biology.
I think he'd be terrific. I mean, it only took me a minute or two to teach him Perquacky. He picks up things very easily.
Evidently.
And I would be the most logical person to assist in the birth of our baby.
Oh, yes, it's very logical. I'm sure Mary would agree that the father to be is much more logical than the aunt to be. I mean, it's much more logical than anyone to be, except for maybe the father really to be, if I only knew who he is, or was, or whatever.
Charlie. Oh, Charlie. Welcome home. How are you?
I'm fine. Mary, can I come into the room a little? I just don't want to be near the windows in case anybody should see me.
Oh, sure. Duck low. Now, sit down. Okay. Can I get you something? Cereal?
I sure would like a diet soda.
Pepsi Light?
Is that diet?
Half the calories.
Okay. It's awful thirsty driving all the way here from New Jersey all the way across the state of Pennsylvania. I was tempted to stop a number of times, but I don't know. I didn't want to waste the time. Thanks. What was that?
Oh, that's just Heather in the platform shoes. She trips in them more than she walks. Charlie, is everything okay with the law?
Oh, yeah, everything's all right in that department. Yeah, oh, yeah. I didn't want Loretta to see me.
Why not?
Well, I just wanted to just check with you, Mary, on how Loretta's doing.
Well, she misses you a lot, Charlie. She really does. But she's better than ever.
That's good. That's a load off my mind. I met a man in New Jersey who's going to change a lot of things for me and Loretta. He's a very important business contact. He was my cellmate in jail.
Oh, Charlie, Loretta will be so excited when you tell her that.
Mary, I ain't going to see Loretta.
What? You're not going to see her? Why?
Well, I'm going to take care of Loretta, Mary, but from afar. I'm going to make her a star, but I can't be part of her day-to-day life no more. See, that's why I'm skulking around here like this. I don't want her to see me. I'm afraid that I'm afraid I'll just lose my noble resolve if I lay eyes on that beauteous girl again.
So that's why you're skulking? I gotta tell you, Charlie, you know what I thought for a minute there? I thought you were being followed by agents from the ASPCA, and I don't mean dogs. That's what I thought. But if you're skulking because you're afraid that Loretta might find you, don't worry. She left a note.
A note? What note?
This note.
Dear Mary, Jody and I have left. It's on account of Charlie. Don't worry. Love and stuff.
Loretta. So you see, if you're worried, about hiding from her, you can just relax because she's gone away with Jody. Oh, wait, she's gone away with Jody?
On account of me.
Oh, well, no, wait, that can't be on account of, Charlie. No, Charlie, that doesn't mean that. That can't mean that. It doesn't mean that.
What that?
Nothing. So, how was jail? Did they grill you?
Mary, don't try to cheer me up. I know what it means on account of Charlie. It means just Well, it means that they took the advice I gave them, that's all.
Oh, you mean they're just following your advice? Is that it? What kind of advice? Did you tell them to take a long drive or something?
No, I just told Loretta that I thought Jody was more suited for her, especially since I wasn't suited to a transplant donor that barked at me. And I did say that I'm never coming home again.
So you said that you were never coming home again and that she and Jody ought to...
They just forget all about me.
Well, they certainly haven't done that. I mean, it's like, it's like what it says in the note. Whatever they've done or anything like that, it's on account of you, Charlie. It's on account of what you want. I mean, if you wanted them here right now, I mean, they'd be here. So it's all for the best.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll just take care of a certain business matter that'll put Loretta on the road to superstardom. And then I guess I'll be going. Thanks, Mary. You've been a real friend.
Yeah, oh, Charlie, can I keep the note? Thanks, Pirate. So Charlie, are you going back to New Jersey now?
Yeah, it's, New Jersey, yeah, that's, one of the stops on where I'm really headed.
So, is there any message or something? I mean, somewhere we can be reached at home, or if Loretta has to reach you.
Tell her I'm going where her prayers can always reach me.
Is there a phone number? An address?
I might try San Francisco. I hear they have a Golden Gate that's got a real high bridge.
The Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. Oh, my God, Charlie. Do you happen to know the zip code?
That episode moved by at a clip. And over at the Gimbals, young Garth, who doesn't want to be called Little Garth, is back because he's a bedwetter, and that's a serious, the serious storyline that's going on there. He wants to hide that he has been wetting his bed at night, and I guess this is fairly embarrassing. I don't really know this storyline. I mean, as a trope, it isn't something that I feel like it might have come up a little bit occasionally in a sitcom in the 80s, but I've never seen it as an extended storyline. I can't remember having issues with this myself, so I'm not sure how prevalent this is, but apparently it was something to bring up. But mainly, I feel like this is something to highlight a major schism between older Garth and Patty. To cover it up, Patty uses, I think smartly, the suggestion that young Garth hit a girl that he was on a date with. And to see Garth attack the idea of violence against women, domestic violence, and I don't know if that being on a date counts as domestic violence, but I feel like it's in the same ballpark. If it is, or if it isn't, feel free to let me know, because I don't really understand the labeling difference. But watching Patty's face when Garth suggests that hitting a woman is a bad thing is really telling. And I hope that Patty can find some strength, because she's in a bad place, and it's clear. And then Detective Johnson shows up at Tippy Toe's trailer being really suspicious, and I've watched so many detective interviews, so many. I can put up a new video for a detective interview up here because I haven't given you a link in a while. He is really First of all, like, I don't really know what this does, but also Tippy Toes is a grandmother? That's news, which is really cool. I mean, obviously she's the same age as Martha, so it makes sense that she could be, but, you know, that's news. I don't know if that's going to be a development, but apparently HB is on the trail of this ring of prostitutes. In 1970s terms, that's, I guess, a crime, a television crime at least, and I'm an advocate for sex workers. Yeah, I think that they should be able to do what they do without problem, without harassment, and hopefully without violence. So I think, well, it's a storyline to follow at least. I don't know if I can get into a debate about. I'm not going to debate anybody about this, but hey, leave the people who are doing the sex work alone. That's where I stand. Let's not argue about it. But he is on the trail of these prostitutes, this ring of prostitutes, and he thinks that Tippy Toes may be one. And Annie is rightly offended that because she sleeps with men who are not her husband, that she might be seen as a prostitute who is doing something illegal. You know, that women who sleep with men for their own fun are whores is an insulting idea. Not that being a whore is insulting, but that concept that women can't just have fun. But then we hear Big Honey on the phone who is calling the men over. Now I'm starting to get a feeling that Big Honey is a question. Merle talked to Big Honey and Martha heard from Big Honey, and now Big Honey calls while HB is over, and it's really starting to seem like a mystery. Who is Big Honey and what is going on? Also, since we have acknowledged that the CB is the 1970s equivalent of the internet, that Big Honey is essentially doing a Craigslist ad. So, there's that. Then we cut over to the Adamses, who are appreciating fine art. Kathy gets across that Mary has offered to be the natural childbirth class partner, but really is angling for Brian, and I'm not sure if that means that Kathy has some kind of attraction for Brian. I feel like that might be the case, though. It's not super clear. She does have some affinity for him, at least. She feels like she can trust him, maybe. And he is generally nicer to her than Christine is. I mean, it makes sense in terms of trying to get this secret and maintain it. That having the father of the father-to-be of the child there in the classes, I mean, it makes sense that person should know what's going on during the childbirth. And then we come over to Mary and Charlie. Charlie has returned from New Jersey, and I've driven from Newark down the New Jersey Turnpike in my day. I never made it to Ohio, but maybe next time I do that trip. May never take that trip, but if I ever take that trip again, maybe I'll find Fernwood. Charlie is coming to check on Loretta, and he hasn't let her go in his heart. And we know that Loretta is trying to find Charlie, but what Charlie sees is this note that says that she's left with Jody on account of Charlie. And of course it gets misinterpreted, and there's a bit of heartbreak in Charlie's chest. And he suggests that he's going to take care of the business in New Jersey that will set Loretta up, which is a question, of course, because it is a questionable business choice to put yourself in with the mob. I don't think that Charlie's quite clear exactly what's going on. I'm not really sure. But then he suggests, and this was terrifying to me, that he would go to San Francisco because of the Golden Gate Bridge. Yeah, I've already shared a video with the survivor, Kevin Hines, who's a suicide advocate, but it was really, I mean, it's hinted at here, but it was really clear that that was what Charlie was talking about. that he was talking about going to the Golden Gate Bridge and jumping. And that's where things got scary for me. And I didn't mention this when I put up the Kevin Hines video, but... And maybe if I find another video, I'll try to throw that up. Look, 2 videos today. But I knew someone who ended his life at that bridge, so that is, you know, if you need help, please find help, is what I'm going to say. And if you're feeling the need to find help, but you feel like there isn't any, I believe that there is. So, I hope you find it. Hey everyone, not to end on a painful note, but hey, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching with me. Thanks for sharing your thoughts down in the comments. And we will see you next week in Fernwood.